She suddenly understood the other's anger and irritation after so many days tied up. She showed the wound on her neck. Since her last time running away, her husband Marcus pushed her against the glass door. In a sense, the harm she did to Anna has now been repaid through Marcus. The two finally talked face to face. Recalling years of bullying, Julie confessed that it was also due to jealousy. Anna had an old lover who cared for her, but she had nothing. She could only find fleeting joy in bullying Anna. Julie apologized for her past mistakes. "I'm sorry." It seemed a Stockholm syndrome developed between them. They surprisingly fell for each other, but Anna was afraid to let her go if Julie called the police. Her newfound beautiful life would disappear in an instant. Just then, the phone rang. A police officer was asking Sam about Julie's disappearance. Anna was slightly panicked, but really, she had no need to worry. The detective was unnoticed like Anna, just an inconspicuous role in life. She briefed her boss at the station. She noted Anna might be the killer, but her boss didn't buy it. He told her not to jump to conclusions without evidence. Officer Black was used to it. She could take advantage of her tendency to be overlooked. She quietly probed Anna. Unfortunately, she was too late. The footage from Julie's vanished day was already taken by Anna, but it made Officer Black trust her judgment more. Anna had no idea danger was near. She went back to the newsroom to check on Julie's case. Yet a new star means old staff fade. Jeff was annoyed by Anna's growing prominence. He claimed to have received intel from Julie's husband. He knew exactly what Julie's husband had done. While Anna was feeling unsettled, the town held a meeting to search for Julie. Naturally, Anna, the first to break the news, had to attend. Yet in a venue corner, Anna noticed Jeff whispering with Marcus. She felt guilty as if caught misbehaving, so she desperately wanted to flee. She didn't expect that Marcus, known for being abusive, would run up and grab Anna. He yelled at her for spilling coffee on his couch. Marcus had already informed Jeff about this. He aimed to disgrace Anna. Luckily, Sean showed up just then. This halted Marcus' escalating aggression. However, the distressed Anna was hardly grateful. "Why do you keep following me? Are you really so into me?" "No, I just really like you." Anna stealthily followed Marcus, not to mention the hate for that abuser. "Even if it's to keep my job and livelihood, he has to take down the rival." Just like the last times, used the blade to strike deep into his neck. Even the strongest man would fall instantly. But just as Anna raised the knife, a familiar voice came from behind. The moment felt a bit upward, but Jeff quickly realized Anna was the serial killer. But who explains while holding a knife? "Jeff, wait for me." Jeff stepped down the street on his bike. If news of a serial killer breaks, let's see who dares to call him old again. But even with the killer behind him, he must still look for oncoming traffic. Obviously, crushed Jeff wouldn't survive this, but Anna felt lingering dread. She went by the river, scrubbing the knife's fingerprints vigorously. Even though it's a keepsake from her father, one must let go of the past to move forward. Just as she closed her eyes to throw it away, her phone rang. A threat came from Marcus. He claimed he'd go to Anna as to beat her. Anna was just speechless. She thought about fighting back, but suddenly she had an idea. She thought of a way to clear herself. Maybe she could use Julie's abuse situation to frame Marcus as the serial killer. But she wanted to gauge Julie's attitude first. That night, Anna said she had to prep for her date with Sam, but her makeup skills were really lacking, so Julie offered to help her, choosing the best makeup look for her. But just as she was ready to line her eyes, Julie hesitated. She couldn't go through with it, but she managed to pass Anna's test. Didn't Julie once cry about fleeing her abusive husband? Then let her help. The two drove to a villa in the suburbs. This was Julie and her husband's home. Now, it's disguised by Anna as a cage to trap Julie. Isn't Marcus known for his abusive and controlling nature? Anna scattered food scraps on the ground, making it seem like Julie's life here itches. Then she placed Julie's phone by the side. She had already used Julie's phone to notify Marcus. Julie would then act as if she were kidnapped. This will prompt Marcus to get a knife to cut the ropes. Anna confessed to have risky aspects, but looking at Julie's cooperation, she clearly made the right bet. Julie indeed had the resolve to escape from abuse. Marcus' controlling nature was exceptionally strong. Julie was clearly a victim, yet he believed Julie's behavior misled men. He directly started another round of abuse right there. "You like it this way, right?" Anna had to step in to help. Little did they know, beneath Marcus' strong exterior lay fragility. He stood at the edge of the railing, trying to force Julie to take back her divorce. Seeing Julie about to waver, Anna swiftly gave her a push. Officer Black saw Anna upstairs. How will he explain his actions? After arriving at the station, Anna and the Officer Black finally faced off. The one-on-one dad. "Is this woman?" Anna struck first. As a journalist, while probing a murder and finding the criminal's den. She can't be blamed for saving someone, right? But Officer Black wasn't fooled. She turned to ask the victim's wife, Julie, but Anna had prepped her story with them. She claimed her disappearance was due to her husband. It was also pulled from her husband's pocket. After all, the dead can't come back to refute. Their testimonies really muddied the situation. She presented the recent evidence she found. Anna's father was a carpenter, and the knife used by the serial killer was a common type used by carpenters. Plus the fourth statement, it showed Anna and Julie were at odds. Now Julie had become a real estate agent coming to take Anna's house from their father. This presented a clear motive for crime. Anna felt the sting of her worries. Nervously, she pulled at her hair again, but all baseless inferences are accusations. The leader beside her couldn't bear to watch. He quickly called Black out. The police public image matters. The key is Anna is a reporter. If this leaks as a wild tale, how will she remain as the chief? Black was put on leave. Anna and Julie were also acquitted. They became heroes for stopping the killer. They received a warm welcome from the townsfolk. But right after Anna returned home, she found that Julie had returned. Is being kidnapped somehow addicted? After breaking free from her husband's abuse, she felt a bit lost, unsure of what to do next. So Anna took her to the dance hall. Just enjoy this hard-won freedom. But just as did partying hard, Black couldn't get past her anger. She secretly snuck into Anna's home, looking for evidence of murder, then prove her innocence to the police. So Anna had mostly erased the proof. She had overlooked the US drive from the garage. It detailed Anna slashing the tire. Officer Black jumped up with joy. Until the next day, after partying all night, Anna and her friend hit the rooftop, deciding to say goodbye to their past selves. From now on, I'll do good. She picked up her father's ashes and scattered them upward. Referencing the first episode's meow, she had become the fierce person her father hoped she would be. Seeing that Julie still looked a bit confused, Anna said that the basement at home would always be open for her. What she didn't expect was someone was already living at home. It was Officer Black who waited all night. The two engaged in a rematch, but this time, Officer Black had proof. She spoke with more confidence, but Anna didn't panic at all. As a cop busting into a home, not to mention whether this evidence could even reach the judge. As long as she calls the police right now, the police would take Officer Black back and return the as Anna's personal property. After all, that's how the law is written. But she had to admit that Anna was right, so she had to leave with a parting threat. She said a killer has either zero crimes or many. She did think the other would behave as a good person. Anna forcibly suppressed her murderous instincts. She wanted to start a new chapter in her life, but reality kept pushing her forward. Sam had previously helped Anna hide. The day Julie disappeared, a few of them met at the store. Now he's using this as blackmail, forcing Anna to transfer her shop shares to him. This is clearly extortion, but Anna felt helpless. She couldn't just kill him. She angrily signed the agreement. Their relationship fell apart. After witnessing Sam's shamelessness, Anna finally understood how rare it is to have someone who cares for you. They had a wonderful night together, but the next morning, Sean talked about work with Anna in his arms. When discussing the recent case files he was organizing, he inadvertently came across the murder weapon. Both were instantly stunned. Remember when Sean came for his first job interview? Anna had vented her frustrations with that very night. She lost it by accident, and the killer found it. Such excuse only fools children. Sean was in a lovesick fool. He stared at Anna in disbelief, hoping she'd pull out an identical knife to prove her innocence, but Anna clearly couldn't produce one. She reluctantly admitted to killing. She claimed they were all evil. She saw herself as a Robin Hood, but Sean couldn't accept that. He liked the smart, brave journalist, not the cold-blooded killer. No choice, Anna picked up a nearby knife. She loved Sean, but loved herself more. She feared being hurt, so she had to kill anyone who could hurt her. Just as Anna was crying in Sean's arms, the door suddenly burst open. It was her sister, Emily, back to sell the house. Faced with the only family she had, should Anna kill or not?